what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the SoCal Dram Tram. I'm Matt.
And I'm Caesar.
And today, before we get into this somewhat familiar-looking bottle, we just want to say, if you're new here, we appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head on out. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for sticking around. We appreciate you so much. Nonetheless, everybody hit that little like button and then click the bell. That way you know whenever we drop a brand new video. Caesar, I know it's not from your bar, but what do we have on the bar today, my friend?
Today we have a familiar looking bottle from your bar, my friend.
That's right. Today we got another one that I kind of can't believe we haven't cracked into because it's been on the bar for a while.
Yeah.
But hey, it's its turn today. It's next in line. Let's get to it. Today we've got the Maker's Mark, Maker's 46, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in barrels with 10 French oak staves. You ain't going to get that on the repeat because I can't do it. Let's check it out. So folks, Maker's 46, as it's more commonly known to everybody out there, this one is kind of cool. Basically, if I remember correctly, the place that Maker's gets their barrels from, they wanted to have something a little bit more unique, and so they basically kind of swapped out individual staves, and they put 10 staves of French oak into it. So it's still like a traditional barrel, but again, it's not traditional because they've swapped out some different staves.
Yeah.
I'm sure I probably have the whole story wrong, and somebody in the comments will let me know, and that's totally fine. That's about the research that I'm willing to put into it. You can check out our Maker's Mark cask strength review up here for a little bit more detailed research on stuff that we did way back in the day. That was a fun review. We like the Maker's cask strength, and I like Maker's Mark. I think Maker's Mark is good stuff.
For mainstream, it's good stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of people hate on it because it's mainstream, right? But it's like, just because it's mainstream doesn't mean it's bad. It just means they made it big, right?
Yeah.
Nobody, well, I'm not going to use that analogy, never mind. Nobody stops listening to the Stones because they're mainstream. How about that? But what are you expecting as we get into it? I know you got some experience with this one, but not a whole lot. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting good stuff. I actually like Maker's Mark. I think it's one of the mainstream ones that I really like, kind of like Woodford Reserve, where like it's kind of it's always going to be there, an option, and it's always a good option. So
yeah, I mean, it's a wheated bourbon, so it's going to be very approachable, very nice. This one is going to be presented at 47% ABV, and it's got the full wax seal, all that good stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, this is effectively like, essentially, when you can get a private barrel of a whiskey, right, from Maker's, usually it's like Maker's 46. I don't think it's like the standard Maker's. Again, I'm probably wrong about that. But every like private select barrel I've ever seen is basically a version of Maker's 46.
Gotcha.
So let's get to it without any further ado.
How much was this?
Oh, man, I want to say it was like $35-$40. I want to say something in that range. It might have been a little cheaper. Again, I can't remember. It might have been $29.99 actually, if I remember correctly.
Really?
Yeah, because I think when I was looking for budget month, this was one that kind of popped up. I didn't buy it for budget month, but it was one that kind of came close to it, and so I kind of put it off because I was like, well, I don't want to get another Maker's.
And it's funny, like a little side note about Maker's, I love wax seals in general. And every time I see one, not only do I like playing with it, but I always think to myself, I'm like, wow, they could have probably saved a little bit of money if they just didn't dunk it that much. But then I remember seeing a video of when they dunk it, and they barely even dunk it in there.
Yeah, they barely
and I'm like, oh, well, goddamn. I was like, this whole time.
It's a drip.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this whole time, it just dripped a lot. I was like, interesting. But I honestly find this fascinating. I love wax seals. I think they're really cool. It makes me feel like an old school colonial guy trying to drink his whiskey back in the day. You know what I mean?
Caesar's out here writing letters and then stamping his initials on it. Like,
with the ink and the feather.
It's a lot easier just to send an email or a text.
I like it a lot.
I just now have this vision of Caesar sitting by a fireplace in his study, and he's just writing this letter, and it just says, "You up?"
Don't need to dip my feather twice for that one.
Gets the ring.
With a white wig.
And we've already lost everybody.
Yeah,
watching.
I know.
Let's get to it, folks. Brown sugar.
So, future note is just skip up to 5 minutes in this video.
Right? No kidding. Sometimes I debate putting the chapters down there, but then I'm like, no, if I had to suffer through the nonsense, y'all have to suffer through the nonsense. Brown sugar on the nose. Brown sugar bomb. It's funny, we've been shooting a couple other reviews today, and it's amazing going from like even just 40, 43 to 46. How much more this punches, right?
Yeah. So, I already sipped it, so I'll let you finish your nosing. Oh, you're sipping now. Cool. So, always love Maker's Mark. Always love it. I always find one common thing with Maker's Mark, I always find just a hint of banana in there. Always just a hint of banana. However, the finish is brown sugar. The finish is just, as it dissipates.
It's Banana Foster's.
It's oh yeah, there you go.
Like,
yeah.
it's brown sugar, caramelized, just butter, banana.
Yeah,
it's delicious.
It's good. It's great. Yeah, and like I said, as the finish, as it dissipates, as it goes away, it gets sweeter. It's like, oh man, like there's still like brown sugar after flavors in your mouth. And once again, it's one of the stamps I think that Maker's Mark does, and that's why I like them so much. And I have no complaints, absolutely no complaints about that, especially at that price point. Get out of here, $30. Yeah. Damn, that's
well.
Great
And when you can pick up a bottle of regular Makers for like $20,
I mean,
you can't beat it.
I was gonna say this is a easily head-to-head comparison with the Michter's. Michter's. It's at the same price.
And it's like half the price almost.
No, Michter's is 40 actually.
Yeah, so it's only like, okay, so it's, let's say this was $29.99, you still save $10.
Yeah.
And this is a special release.
Yeah.
That you can find everywhere. Like, you can find this thing at Target. So it's like, it's not like it's going to be, hard to find.
It's good.
But it's good stuff. I mean, it's just right on the money. Like, it's a brown sugar bomb without a doubt. Again, that banana funk, you're absolutely right. You get a little bit of that. It's almost like you left a banana out on the counter for a little bit too long, and the aroma kind of starts hitting you, and you're like, I should probably throw that out. And you're like, I'm going to make banana bread.
All those fruit flies all over there.
Yeah. But then, you're like, I'm going to make banana bread. Get out of here with all that. But very specifically, it reminds me of on my honeymoon, we were in New Orleans, and we went to, what was the name of the restaurant? It's Carl
Cafe
Brennan?
Dumas.
No. We hit that too. I think it was Carl Brennan's. But basically, they do the Banana Fosters, and they do the whole thing, right? They roll out the cart, and they, get all the stuff on the pan, and they flambe it, on fire. Like, it's the whole thing.
That's
and
cool.
it's incredible.
I haven't had that yet.
And, like, it's, oh, dude, you got it. It's, oh, my God. You think I got this fat not eating Banana Fosters? Like, it's so good. But with the bourbon, though, because the traditional bourbon notes, you get some of that vanilla, you get some of those sweeter honey notes, and that pepper spice, and it's just such a wonderful combination of flavors. Does the French staves add anything? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean?
It tastes like Makers to me.
Yeah, it tastes like Makers, I think, is 45. So I'm not going to say it tastes like a higher Makers, because it doesn't. But it does taste like there's something different than a traditional Makers. I think this is more in line with the cask strength, where it's just a little bit more punchier. It's a little bit more engaging. I love this drink. I'm surprised that I still have more than half of it left.
Yeah, I know.
And I think it's just because, like you said, right, they're mainstream. And so you see the name, you're like, I can always get that. I'll come back to it, right? And you're like, but this one I can't ever get again. And so I'm going to drink it right now, right? But it's just like, it's one of those things where, like, it sits in the cabinet, but every time I go back to it, I'm like, son of a bitch, I still love it. You know what I mean? And Maker's Mark is one of those brands where I don't give a damn where you're at. If you just say, can I get a Maker's, if you're a whiskey drinker, and they don't have it at the bar, folks, you need to leave that bar.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's like Maker's, Jameson, and I would argue Monkey Shoulder, because like that's let's say Johnny Walker.
Yeah,
Johnny Walker, Makers, and Jameson. If they don't have those three options at the bar, leave that bar.
Yep.
Did you put water on it yet?
No, not yet. You already did? Mm-mm. Damn. This smells like maple syrup. Like it's just
so good.
It's crazy. Wow, that nose is incredible. I would put this on pancakes.
You know, it's one of those things, like, everybody's always like, I need to get my Blantons. I need to get my this. I need to get my that. It's like, move out the way. Give me Turkey 101. Give me Makers 46, and I'm happy. Like, do I want those other bottles? Sure. Do I want to pay the stupid third-party prices for them? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, okay, serious question. We've had Blantons. You can check it out. We like the Blantons. It's $60, right? Let's say we can get that at retail. We know we can't.
Yeah.
But let's say we could, and this is sitting on the shelf for $30, and Blanton's is sitting there for $60.
Yeah.
Is that worth double?
Yeah, no. Definitely not.
Like, seriously,
Definitely
folks. Like,
not.
it's not. Like,
Definitely
it's a
not.
good bottle. It's a good bottle of bourbon. It's not... This is on par, if not better. You know what I mean? Especially for the price point.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, it's a single barrel and it's got the horsey, and I don't give a shit. Like, I just don't. Like, it's good bourbon, but it's not $100+ good bourbon. This is good bourbon, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, this is right down home plate. This is, I would say, quintessential for a bourbon category. Like, the Whiskey Tribe, they have their little, like, wall, right, where it's effectively, they put, like, you know, if you were to describe what this category of whiskey is, it would be this whiskey, right?
Yeah.
I would say this is bourbon. Like, to me, this is what bourbon is. And now I'm hyping it all up, and I'm probably going to drink through this pretty quickly. Did I put water on this? Yeah, I put water on this. Did you put water on it yet? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking clean, because it's not bad, but it's not as good as it being clean, and it also kind of takes away the flavor.
It gets more sour.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I hate saying that phrase, by the way. I do not like telling Caesar he's right. It's one of my, like, 10 commandments of my life. Don't tell Caesar he's right.
Yeah, no, but that clean pour without water, the finish just gets sweeter as it goes away, where this is just, it goes from all right to sour, and then it's more sour.
Yeah,
So it's like,
and what's shocking to me, there's not really a whole lot of a pepper bomb out of this, which is funny because we always get pepper bomb out of bourbons for us. But yeah, this is just damn good. And like I said, I wouldn't drink it neat. Or sorry, I wouldn't drink it with water on it. I would prefer to drink it neat. I'm gonna put it out there on Front Street. I'm gonna say it. It's a 4.5. It's a 4.5 for me. Like, this is quintessential in my book. $30, you can't beat the price.
that's
Even
crazy.
if it's $40, you can't really beat the price on this one. Like, I'd pay $40 on this on the regular. North of 40, then I'm like, okay, let's pump the brakes on this, kid. Who do you think you are? You think you're like, you know, Wild Turkey 17 year? Get out of here. But I think this is perfectly priced.
Yeah.
I think this is a really solid bourbon. What did I say? 4.5?
4.5.
4.5. So 4.5 from me, folks. It's not quite a 5. It's not perfect. But 4.5, this is a really solid bourbon. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm close. I'm gonna give it a 4. It's great. That price point is great because at that price point, the number one thing I like to compare it to is Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, right? And even with that, this is still just as good as that, and at that same price range. So with that being said, this is definitely a 4. It's good stuff.
I think it's safe to say you ain't gonna beat Evan Williams with a 10-foot pole. Like Evan Williams is like
Bottled and Bond specifically.
yeah, Evan Williams bottom bond, white label,
Yeah.
right? Even though it's on the bottom shelf, you need to go get you a bottle. Because here's what happens. Evan Williams, Bottled and Bond, is that runner at the Olympics that, like, he's like, he ain't got a chance. He's way the hell back there. He fell. It ain't going to happen. And then they get on that last straightaway, and homie just takes off.
Yeah.
And you're like, how? How did you do that? I don't get it. Everything was against you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you nailed it. You
Yeah.
stuck the landing.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
This is the guy that comes in second.
Yeah.
And he's just pissed off about it because he had it right there.
Yeah.
But again, that's not knocking this. That's just saying Evan Williams really is by far and away like something that shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
By all factors, it shouldn't exist. But it's a 4 from Caesar. It's a 4.5 from me. Do us a favor, hit us up in the comments. Do you like Makers 46? Do you prefer a different Makers? Do you want to see a private barrel review? Because we got one from some friends, and it's a really good, tasty bottle.
it's really
for
good.
sure. I
Yeah.
thought about pulling it out for a comparison, but you know what? For now, we're just going to give Makers 46 the respect it deserves. Do us a favor, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We love interacting with you there. Again, folks, everybody talking about, hey, you got to put out more videos. You got to do 2 videos a week. No, forget that. We got so many reviews out there that y'all haven't even watched. So do us a favor. Go check out those videos. You can check out some of them right here. And until next time, stay safe and drink well. All aboard. Catch you next time. Hey everybody, hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.
It's funny, your neighbors probably are so used to hearing the bell, they're like, oh, I know what's going on now.
Right? They're like, ah, shit, it's a shoot day.